Guys, I messed up. Just where you think you got the market clocked, slaps you up and gives you some humble pie. I thought I was going to make some good money on that options trade, but the market was like, got him! So quick recap, lost about 100 quid, made it all back, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to go through some of the trades from last week and break down the technical analysis as to why I made these trades. Hi guys, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. So last week, I decided to make a video about an option trade I was taking, and it went a bit like this. So now I've gone long on the S&P 500. Now there's a lot that went into me going long in the S&P 500 because this is probably quite a risky trade, and if it doesn't go well, then you'll know about it because I'll be sulking for quite some time. So fast forward to the day after I made that video, guess what happened? Guess. Yeah, you're right. There's no excuses. It was a bad trade, okay? I took a long at 3140, and the next day it plummeted. That was actually the best place to take a short, but my idea was solid. I thought it was a bull flag, but it wasn't, and things happened. I lost about 100 quid, something around that, but you know, these things happen. So yeah, I'm not option trading again for a while. Back to spread betting. But yeah, just to show you, mate, you have to cut your losses early. The minute I started seeing it sell off, I could have tried to bag hold it, but I just kind of I sold it off into the strength. When it climbed up again, I thought, nah, gotta cut it. And I just got out of that trade. So lost 100, could have lost way more if I kept holding it. So when you see a losing trade, just get out. Just get out. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Just get out of it. Because look at it, it's just been selling off ever since. Anyway, moving on, back to my good friend DAX. Now I had I had some really good trades on DAX. I'm not gonna lie, I did really well the last couple of days, really well. On Friday, oh mate, I had a screamer. Get your minds out the gutter. So on DAX, this is what I saw on DAX on Friday. Now I took this trade on Friday, but before I tell you about the trade, let me show you where I posted my trade. So if you're not on Discord, what are you doing, guys? Join my Discord group. So the Discord group is called Pip Talks, and it's a Discord group for like-minded traders and investors to just talk about anything and everything to do with trading and investors. You got some great people here that have lots of great analytical skills, and this is where I post a lot of my trading ideas. And as you can see, on the 26th of June, I posted on this group and I said I'm looking to short the DAX, and my short was based off of, like you can see here, this was my analysis. I'm going to go through that anyway, but yeah, I told them I'm going to short the DAX, and had a couple of discussions with some of the guys in the group about shorting it. Told them my plan, and then couple people followed it. I'm not telling people to follow my trades, by the way, because I lose a lot as well. I make some, but I lose some. You know, it happens. But this one, I had a high conviction in it, so I posted it in the group, and some people made some money off of it as well. Not to say that it's a signaling group. It's not. I don't charge for signals, whatever. But it's just a place to bounce ideas off of other technical analysis traders. So back to why I shorted the DAX. So on the 4-hour chart, I saw something very interesting. I'm just going to bring out the RSI. So the RSI, relative strength index, shows you when a stock or index or ETF is overbought or oversold. When it's overbought, that means it's probably in a position where it's going to sell off and you should short. And when it's oversold, which is this little green area here, this is when it's too low, and then it looks like it should be bought into strength because it's going to go up. Now what I have got here is I plotted lines on here because what I saw was a bullish divergence. This is where it started trending up, and this is another bullish divergence here. So with that being said, go back down here now. So with this bullish divergence, I saw that there was a support line at these different points, and every time there was a support line, that's where price sold off, but then it would sell off only to climb again. So it was like the weak points in the bullish move, and these were the opportunities to go long. So if you saw whenever price kind of gotten close to this line, it would probably rebound off of it and climb into strength. So if you had clocked this bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart, you could have bought into at the lowest points of a bullish move to really maximize profit. Now at some point the bullish move ended, and it was at this point at which it ended, and then the RSI crossed that line, and when it crossed that line, it started selling off in a big way. Now I saw this happening here because another bullish divergence was created, and the same thing happened here, but at like a smaller scale. And the minute it crossed that line, it sold off again. Can you see that? Crossed the line, sold off again. As you can see, there was a repeat pattern here. Once I saw that it was about to cross this line here, I thought, okay, this is a chance to take to really make a big short trade, because I could see price was coming down and it looked like it was going to cross that line. So that's why I had the high conviction in taking a short trade. because of the repeat pattern I saw about a bullish divergence that would get broken to the downside, and the pattern got broken, and this happened once and it happened again, and that's why I had a high conviction in this short. So there's quite a lot of lines here. Sorry guys, I don't delete my lines because you never know when they're going to be of importance, but so this is where I took my move. So the short trade I made was on the 26th, and that's where I took the short move. And what I did was that, as you can see here, there was this line of resistance that the DAX was respecting, but me being the eager beaver I actually took a short around here, so around 12235, something there about, because I thought this was going to be the initial sell-off, but it retraced again. But because I was so confident in my position, what I did was that I set my stop loss just above this line. So I set my stop loss at 12400, so it gave a little bit of room for maneuver. So price came again, retested that resistance line, and then it sold off again. So that's why I gave it enough buffer, because I didn't want it to give a little false breakout, which is kind of what it did here, and then sell off. But it did sell off. It's showing that it'd been like a previous, like kind of like a support zone, so there was no like obvious support line, so I gave it kind of like a little support zone, and I took my profits just shy of 12080, and so basically I profited off of this kind of sell off here. I didn't make all of it because there was more to go, but I probably wouldn't have been able to stomach all of this kind of sideways movement. I would have got like itchy fingers and wanted to pull out my position, so I knew that I'd be better off just taking this big move and then coming out of the trade. And that's how I made big bank. So moving on, as you can see, I'm currently in another trade. So yeah, I know this is a random thing to just interject in the middle of a video, but I really need to talk about this. What's going on with Wirecard? I know you guys won't believe me, but actually I had Wirecard on my short interest list. Check out some of my old videos. I had them on my list of stocks to short for quite some time. I just never did. I wish I'd done it now. Obviously, hindsight is great, but yeah, it's madness. Like, look how much it sold off. If I'd shorted this, I would have been sitting on some pretty cash, mate. But shoulda, woulda, coulda, eh? So back to my Wirecard rant. How? I got so many questions. Ernest & Young, how can you audit a company for X amount of years and not know that they're £2 billion in a hole? I think that they knew something about it and they were just covering up for them because they wanted to keep getting paid. Wirecard, how are you allowed to just keep money in an offshore escrow account and just say, yeah, no, it's there and that's it? £2 billion, that money was never there. Come on, let's be real, it was never there. How many people are going to lose money? Like, this is the worst time for something like this to happen. Like, a financial company that processes transactions has been caught that with... I don't know, mate. So there's so much fishy stuff going on. Where were the regulators? Where were the regulators? What were the auditors doing? What's going on in Germany, guys, man? I don't really have like any put together thoughts. I just want to know what is going on with Wirecard. And do you know what the cheekiest thing about this whole situation was? This guy is funny. This Braun guy was the CEO, right? So what he did was that once he knew that things were hitting the fan and he was going to get in trouble, he hired a head of compliance to come to the company. So this new guy doesn't know what's going on in the company. He's been hired to set things straight. He comes in the company. The CEO, after a couple of weeks, he resigns and then makes that head of compliance CEO. So basically, the board of directors, they knew what they were doing. They knew that things were going to come to a head and they were in trouble. So they were trying to get a fall guy who knew nothing about what the company was doing to become the new CEO. So he had to answer to all the questions about what's going on. These people are funny, man. Real funny. Anyway, rant over. I map out scenarios. You know I like to map out scenarios because there's multiple different things that could happen. And if you want to see the scenarios that I map out on some of the trades, check my Twitter out. The latest scenario that I wanted to potentially trade, I posted here. I actually thought it was initially going to be a short, as you can see here. I thought that it was going to sell off once it hit this like 50%, this 61.8% Fibonacci level. So yeah, I thought it was initially going to retrace here because this is a Fibonacci level. It didn't do that. Well, it kind of retraced, but then it was like a bit of like a false retracement. It came back down and then it only climbed up again and then it broke this resistance line. Now this resistance line is important because I've seen this play out several times before. Normally, if it breaks this resistance line, just as it's done here, it should climb, sell off, hit the old resistance as a new support, then climb again. So I've taken a long position here because this is the place in which I think it will boost up before losing momentum. And what I want to do is I'm trying to be a little bit clever and make some profits, more profit than I should from this trade. So what I want to do is I want to take this long, and when I see it's losing momentum through price action and volume, I will exit that trade, let it sell off because I don't like to swim against the flow of traffic. If I think the move is bullish, I don't want to take a short just to make more profit, even though I still think the move's bullish because I don't want to get burnt if it decides to just change direction quickly. So I'll take a long, close it out, wait for it to sell off, and then once it hits like this support again as a new resistance, take another long and let it climb. And that's the way I can make two quite low risk trades and make profits double off the same move. So that's what I'm planning to do. I'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it plays out well. I'm currently in one, and I'm going to be in the second one again if it retraces back and it makes me a little bit of a profit as it goes up. But I'll keep you guys posted on my Twitter and on my Discord. If you want to join them. But yeah, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.